Baltimore and New England about to begin the battle for the AFC Championship, and let's go down to Steve Tasker, a veteran of 5 AFC Championship games.
Well, guys, we spoke to Tom Brady on Friday and asked him what it takes for a quarterback to throw for 5,000 yards in New England. He gave us an interesting answer. Through regular season of 16 games and a playoff game, the Patriots have had perfect conditions every week. And today is no different. No wind, no rain, no snow. So look for the Patriots continue to throw the football early and often.
All right, thank you, Steve. Of course, Steve and the Bills went on to 4 Super Bowls, 4-1 in this spot. You're a veteran of playing in this spot as well, Phil Simms. The weather, again, it's been all season long like that for the Patriots, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has been perfect, so it does fit their offense, just like Steve Tasker said. Thinking about this game today, especially for the Baltimore Ravens, let the nerves settle down, don't take any chances, and if it's a 3-and-out and you punt, that might be fine.
Today's game is being broadcast in Spanish. We're available using the SAP button on your television. Steven Gostowski to send it down to Zipikowski. And he will not run it out. Joe Flacco and the Ravens start at the 20, looking for his 50th win, regular season and postseason, in just 4 years. He's won a playoff game every one of his 4 years in the league, and second time now he's gone to this spot, to the AFC title game. McKinney, a pickup just after camp started, the former Viking at left tackle, been a big presence for them. And Rice, in this very position in the wild card game 2 years ago, took the first handle off the left side, 83 yards for a touchdown, as the Ravens went on to win that game 33-14 in the 09 playoffs. And they go right back to the same play, basically, but this time, no gain. Stopped by Dederick, a New England defense that forced 15 negative plays last week, and they get a stop for a no-gainer here right away. Wilfork on that front. Ninkovich was so active in the win against the Broncos last week. And Arrington shared the NFL lead with 7 interceptions on the year. Ricky Williams has come in for the second play, and Rice is to the right side, wide to the right, top of your screen. On 2nd and 10, Flacco's pass is wide of the mark. He was looking for Bolden.
Jim, I think you saw something that the Ravens would like to do today. Spread the defense out. You look at this New England defense, they are big, so it's hard to run right at them. So when you have big defensive players, make them play sideline to sideline.
A 3rd and 10. Lee Evans in as the 3rd receiver. For the Ravens, that was Fletcher and Anderson bringing them down.
Yeah, as you're Joe Flacco, you drop back, you look down the field. It's hard to pull the trigger sometimes on that first throw. He did have a receiver open to the outside, but he felt the pressure and did the right thing, stepping up inside of Ninkovich.
Sam Cook, the punter. 46.5 average, career best gross for the fine punter who had pressure coming up the middle. Was Chung moving in on him, and that's Edelman with the fair catch. Good starting position for the Patriots at the 40. 36-yard punt, and they were in on Cook. He barely got that one away.
They might have to speed this process up just a little bit, Jim. You said it right. Patrick Chung close to getting in there and getting the block.
Chung's done that a time or two. There was contact, the helmet on the foot, but no flag. And here comes Tom Brady right out into a shotgun formation with Woodhead flanking him.
Tom Brady saw that it could be a blitz. Pollard to his left. Changes the protection.
Brady over to Woodhead. Makes the catch, shakes a tackle, dives underneath for 8. He ducked under Jimmy Smith, picks up 7. Just before this game began, Drew Bledsoe came over. shared a word of encouragement with Tom Brady, the man who took his position away back in 01, as Bledsoe was honored before the game, honorary captain here. Second down and 3, and the ball is deflected at the line of scrimmage. Now 3rd and 3 coming up.
One thing you want to do, so few teams have done it this year. Can you get inside pressure on Tom Brady? No pressure that time, but this is what's important. Haloti Ngata sees that he's not going to get to the quarterback. When you know you're not going to get there, stop, watch him, read his eyes, and try to knock it down.
Load up 3 to the left on 3rd and 3. Brady looks for another option. Now throws it, and it is knocked away incomplete. Ed Reed in him. The play is Deion Branch was the receiver, and Kerry Williams as well.
Yeah, you know, just watch this. Look at the defense. Look at all the defenders staying so close to the line of scrimmage. They're playing the situation, and that is well done. The Patriots like a lot of short passes. Tom Brady had plenty of time, and that's a good job doing Ray Lewis. When Tom Brady moves in the pocket, have Ray Lewis mirror him and charge him once he leaves that safety of those offensive linemen.
Zoltan Mesko. Webb is back deep, and that'll be only the second touchback at home all season long for Mesko. Did not get the hop he was hoping for, just a net of 33. Each team 3 and out here at the beginning of the AFC title game. We're back, and Flacco at the last moment comes back onto the field. Tyrod Taylor, his rookie backup, had been in that huddle for the 2 minutes during that break, and then they shift Flacco back onto the field. What's up with that?
Well, I think they were just seeing what the New England defense is going to do if they decide to put Tyrod Taylor in the game.
On first down, they go Rice. And he's got early contact, picks up only 1. That is now 2 stops by Dederick. Both times that Rice carried it, Dederick was right in on him.
Well, Jim, we talked to the Ravens last night, and you watch this New England defense now. It reminds you a little bit of those Super Bowl teams. Very big in the front 7, so it's hard to run the football. Vince Wilfork, Kyle Love, and Dederick, especially they have 2 guys on the edges that are pretty good too.
Second down and 9. And a quick throw with the catch. And it's Lee Evans for 6 yards. He had only 4 catches all regular season. Had a acrobatic catch last week against the Texans for 30 yards. And here's Flacco facing 3rd and 3.
Well, when you look at Joe Flacco, so much criticism from outside and even a little bit from Ed Reed. But I said to you, Jim, and many people this week, he did face the number 2 defense in the NFL, the Houston Texans. The Ravens believe in him. His head coach does. They say if we can get him open, he'll get him the football.
Julian Edelman in on defense for New England. Wilfork on Flacco, and then he's finished off by Mark Anderson. It was Wilfork who really forced the sack. Anderson gets the credit, and a loss of 7.
Well, he's being very careful with the football. There's no doubt about it. The pocket, Jim, is collapsing. There are receivers open down the field. Look at the space. You can see it, but when you feel it outside, he steps up. Lee Evans to the right was wide open that time too.
Patriots defense now in the postseason, going back to the Denver game last week, has forced 7 3-and-outs in 15 opponent drives. Cook with no pressure this time. Edelman waits for it, has it at the 29. And then 3 Ravens converge on him at the 38. That's a 51-yard boot. Still looking for the game's first down. Brady's turn next.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Sprint, all football, no limits, only from Sprint. And by Nissan, innovation for today, innovation for tomorrow, innovation for all.
Aerial coverage of today's game is provided by MetLife. From the 39, first down carry. Green Ellis plowing ahead for 8. Brought down by Suggs.
Something you always got to be ready for. This hurry-up offense, they spread you out. Gronkowski going in motion. Wow, nice block on Terrence Cody.
Green Ellis again, and there's a first down right at the 50. It's met by Lewis, and Kerry Williams picks up 3.
You know, when you talk about this New England offense, all they talked to us about, Jim, was let's don't let Terrell Suggs ruin the game for our offense. So make sure they got him blocked. Every once in a while, you'll see somebody come out of the backfield or a tight end chipping. If they give Tom Brady time, they believe he'll find the open guy down the field.
Chains are moved for the first time right at the 50. Snap back Brady. Throw complete. Branch cut back for another first at the Baltimore 39. Spun away for Pollard for 11.
All they talked about, Tom Brady gets it out of his hands so quick, hard to get past pressure. Yards after the catch. Let them catch it, but can you stop them before they make that move and get the 6 or 7 extra yards?
Edelman wide to the right. We've seen the special teams, defense, and now here on offense. Hernandez. And Pollard makes that immediate tackle, holds it to a 4-yard gain. Tom Brady coming off the 6 touchdown throws, tying an NFL postseason record and a Patriot playoff record, 363 yards against the Broncos. Edelman out of the backfield, gets the handle and falls for no gain.
It was really interesting that last play. The Patriots shifting guys, changing their formation. And did you see the Raven defense? They just stood there and waited for the guy to come to them. So they're not going to try to run all over the field and match up. Cover whoever comes your way.
Again, no huddle. They've got Hernandez in the backfield with Brady, and that was effective last week as the tight end rushed it 5 times for 61 yards, including a 43-yarder. To set up the game's first touchdown, Brady fires, and a diving grab by Edelman, who's all over the field here in the game's first 6.5 minutes. Picks up 8.
But Julian Edelman to the outside. Some of these short throws, boy, you have to be pinpoint. Ed Reed, good coverage.
And again, no huddle, and a first down at the 28. Kruger in for Suggs on that defense as Woodhead runs into the teeth of that line and right into the arms of Haloti Ngata. Give him 3. Again, the Patriots quickly to their feet and spread out again.
That's right, and don't panic on the defensive side. Again, just stand there. Not many coverages are going to play, it looks like. Everybody that plays the Patriots, they don't communicate very well.
Brady to Welker, off his hands, and it's intercepted. Flag is down, and it's picked off by Pollard. Off the deflection, off the hands of Welker, will check the flag.
Well, what they're doing, they're throwing these short passes. So the Ravens defense, they play it. A double move by Wes
Prior
Welker.
to the pass being intercepted, illegal contact, number 21, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Take the interception away for Pollard. It's called on Webb, who had 2 picks last week, the Houston Texans.
Good reaction to what they saw the play before, Jim. Wes Welker goes outside, or Julian Edelman. They're jumping the short route, so let's fake a short route, go up the field. That's a good call. Ladarius Webb stuck out his right arm.
First down for New England at the Baltimore 22. Suggs back on the field. Lined up over Matt Light. Brady down the field, and he had an open man. It was Gronkowski, who had 3 touchdown grabs last week against the Broncos.
Well, everybody talks. Here's Gronkowski going down the field. Ed Reed, oh, he goes for the run. And I say this always to everybody that plays the Patriots, why would you go for the play-action fake when you know that your responsibility is covering Gronkowski down the field?
A break for Ed Reed. And the Ravens, 2nd down and 10. Back to the middle of the field. And a first down catch by Gronkowski at the 10, just outside the 10. An 11-yard gain.
I think you can see, you say, well, we're going to match up. We're going to put our safety on the tight end. it's almost impossible to do that in a game because they have so many different personnel groups. They shift, they put them in motion. You don't know where they're going to line up. One of the tight ends, Aaron Hernandez, of course, you've seen it, will line up in the backfield.
They can pick up a first at the 1. First down and 10. Brady with pressure, and he's decked at the 16 by Kruger.
Well, the Ravens, Paul Kruger, they like him. Number 99, bottom of your screen. Oh, that's a nice move on Nate Solder. He faked him, got Nate Solder leaning forward, and once that happened, Tom Brady lucky and a good job holding on to the football.
The rookie Solder at right tackle, again getting the call today with Fulmer inactive, still down with the back and foot injuries. Second and 15. Hernandez shifts over to a wing on the left, and it's Welker. Gets back the loss on the previous play, and it's Ladarius Webb who holds him to a 5-yard gain.
Well, you can see what this Raven defense is doing. They're standing there, they're waiting for him to come their way, and Jim, it's attack the guy with the football. Good example there, Chuck Pagano, the defensive coordinator. So the big key for the Ravens, let's out-hit the Patriots today. If you hit them hard enough, you'll get a turnover.
6 completions to 6 different receivers. Third down and 10. From the pocket to the end zone and incomplete. Thrown to Welker, and Lewis had the coverage.
Well, when you get down to the goal line, I promise you, number 52, that's Ray Lewis. His job is to stay to the goal line and take away anything that comes up the middle of the defense. And this is a good job, getting right underneath Wes Welker. Nowhere to throw the football. Good job.
29-yard field goal coming up. The attempt by Gostowski. And the field goal is good. Gostowski, who won the last matchup with an overtime field goal, kicks this one through to complete a 13-play drive. Brady got sacked on that series, but the Pats put up 3. CBSSports.com experts are breaking down this year's NFL draft. See which players your team might pick. Plus, get the latest mock drafts and more at CBSSports.com/NFL draft.
Well, you know, Jim, you look at that last drive, the Ravens, it has to reinforce what they want to do. 13 plays, only 50 yards. They hold them to a field goal. So the plan that they came in the game with, hey guys, this can work. And not only that, takes a little pressure off that Ravens offense, not sitting on the sideline watching New England score a touchdown.
And Zbikowski not able to return the first kick of the game. Throw this one. So Baltimore's offense been stagnant through the first 2 drives. A 3-0 New England lead in the first quarter, the AFC title game. Third straight Baltimore drive beginning at the 20. Ricky Williams, the running back, who has the all-time Gillette Stadium single-game rushing record. But he's going to lose a pile of yardage here as Wilfork drops him back some 6 or 7 yards.
They're trying to get outside, but Vince Wilfork shifts, and now they cannot make the block. It's an outside zone run by the Baltimore Ravens. They'd like to get outside. They don't want to go against the size of this New England defense. Pretty athletic, too. That wasn't the drive starter I was looking for. This offense needs confidence.
They've run it now 3 times on first down for -4 total yards. Second and 15, long ball. Flacco flings it over the head of the speedster Torrey Smith.
Well, you know, Jim, that's why it's Sometimes when you come out in the field, if you're the quarterback, that's what I call a drive starter. In other words, a play where the coach has a design where it's an easy completion for you and it can get your confidence. Joe Flacco trying to settle in, has had a couple open receivers, hasn't pulled the trigger, felt the pressure. So once he gets that first down, I think he'll start playing better.
5 minutes to go in the first quarter, still looking for that first one. 3rd and 15, and he will be sacked. Vince Wilfork. And another loss of 5.
Well, there's two things. Let's just watch the play. You're the quarterback. Watch the receivers down the field. Watch the pocket collapsing. Who's open? Guy in the middle? No. Nobody is open, so Joe Flacco really has no choice. The choice is throw it out of bounds before you take the sack.
Cook has to drop back into the end zone. They try to set up return. Edelman, 43-yard line, and backed up. Still not down. Finally stopped at the 38. Rough start so far for that Raven offense. Chip Nance, Bill Sims, Steve Tasker here at Gillette Stadium, New England, starting at the 40 on the first drive of the game, then the 39, and now back to the 40, winning that field position battle here in the first quarter. Suggs shifts around to the other side now. Will challenge Solder as Brady's pass is caught by Hernandez and brought down after a first down gain. A gain of 11.
Well, it's a blitz. Here they come on the outside. And look at the protection. It is awesome by Tom Brady. Ray Lewis against Aaron Hernandez. Pretty tough matchup.
On first down, Woodhead. Into the middle for a couple.
You know, Jim, so much. This hurry-up offense, the pace of it. Talking to the coaches for Baltimore, that's all they worked on all week. Tyrod Taylor, their backup quarterback, they said he did it well. That's why you're seeing a defense. They're not moving around, waiting for him to come. Communication, get lined up. Two big keys.
2nd down and 8. Over the top and intercepted. They were going for Edelman and a leaping grab by Ladarius Webb. His 2 interceptions last week.
What a catch by Ladarius Webb. Here comes Welker down the field. Or Edelman down the field on the seam. And Ladarius Webb looks back and is able to get that interception. Little move going down the seam, something that the Patriots love to do. They love to throw seam pass for their throws down the field to make the big plays. And Ladarius Webb, he knows that, so he turns around and makes the interception.
His picks last week led to 10 points. His 2 picks tying a single-game postseason record for the Ravens, tying Dwayne Starks and Ed Reed. Now on first down, play action and rolling out. And a man's wide open down the field. Makes the catch at the 27. It's Torrey Smith. And you can see that one unfolding. You're tapping me on the arm right away saying there's a guy wide open.
I was top of the screen, Jim. It's the play action fake, and it gets the defense. A little movement. Devin McCourty, it's 2 deep safeties, he thinks. So where's the help? Nobody there. And Joe Flacco, good job of keeping his eyes and looking at that first receiver, which was Torrey Smith.
And it picks up 42. They finally break through with a play, and it's a big one. Rice wrestled down by Ninkovich after 3.
Joe Flacco, when he came out, we saw this last week. If you're looking at your first receiver, which is the outside receiver, anytime you run those bootlegs, what a throw. He waited a little too long to get it out there. Good job by Torrey Smith just making sure of the catch.
And that's the first time they had thrown on first down.
Drive started.
2nd and 7. Rice bouncing around waiting. Give him 2. Mayo is there along with Spikes.
Well, you talk about Ray Rice, Jim. We talked to him last night, and it's so important to keep him involved in the game, and you do it two ways. Hand the football to him or throw it to him. And what did Ray Rice say? 20, 25 touches is what he needs. If he gets those, he thinks he'll make a big play or two to maybe be the difference in the game.
Of course, he was telling us also last night about how loose he was, the whole team was all week long. Michael Orr, by the way, was injured on that last play. The right tackle for the Ravens hobbling to the sideline, and we'll have a break in the action with the injury. Michael Orr getting attention now on the bench at right ankle. He got rolled up on that last play, 74. And now Ja Reed, a rookie from Central Florida, drafted in the 3rd round, will protect Flacco's blind side.
See the possession so far today. The Ravens, they drafted Ja Reed, Jim, to be their right tackle this year. But since there was no offseason, everything cut short, they went out and got Bryant McKinney to play left tackle and moved Michael Orr over to right tackle.
Coming out of that injury timeout with a 3rd and 5, set up by a long ball to Torrey Smith that gained 42 yards. From the gun, Flacco's throw, good for a first. It's Smith again, and he has the first down at the 12, a gain of 13.
It's a blitz, but watch Joe Flacco. He catches it, loads up, and lets it go right on the mark. And if you give him opportunities one-on-one to the outside, he is a deadly thrower. Little hurry up by the Ravens on the offensive side.
From the 12, it's Rice. Ridden down by Dederick again. Gain of 2.
You know, Jim, if you want to go, well, the Raven fans, why'd you hold it up at the line of scrimmage? And Alberto Riveron had to because the Ravens substituted. So when you substitute on the offensive side, you have to give the defense equal time to bring in their substitute.
We'll see what Cam Cameron sends in here. Ball at the 10. 2nd down and 8. Flacco wanting to go up top. Dumps it. Leach. Somersaults to the 7. Nikovic with a good tackle. Holds him to 3.
That's a good job. They're playing like a shell defense. In other words, trying not to make sure nobody gets open deep. Good job by Joe Flacco getting rid of the football and throwing it to Vontae Leach.
And they will not run another play here in the quarter. A big 3rd down to start the 2nd. 3-0 after 1 New England, and you're watching the NFL on CBS. And the Ravens owner, Steve Bisciotti, the 2nd youngest NFL owner. In the owner's box, visitors owner box. Back on row 3. We start the 2nd quarter with a 3rd and 5. Flacco's got the time, finds a man fighting for the first down yardage, and I believe he's going to be a half yard short. That's Bolden. And it looks like the spot is short. What would you do here, Phil?
Well, I think John Harbaugh, what he's going to do, and what I would do right away, measure it so it gives you time to think about it. And they are going to measure it, Jim. What I'm going to do is decided how far this is. Now remember last week, what was it? 4th and 1 inch, they did not get it.
The Texans made a goal line stand against them. Got a half a yard here.
I tell you what I would do real quick. Remember now, the Ravens could challenge us if they don't like the mark. And I think the mark is going to stand. Excellent job of coming up and making the tackle. Jim, I would go up and maybe call a quarterback sneak. And if I see what I like, run it. And last week, before I could even get my thought process out,
he sent out the field goal team.
Sent out the field goal team.
Going to bring out Billy Cundiff. Be a 20-yard field goal try to tie it.
Yeah, and I think it's a good decision, of course, too. Don't second guess it at all. Tie this game up. Keep giving positive reinforcement to your football team.
Cook gets it down, and Cundiff drives it through. So they cash in with 3 points off the pick. The Webb interception, the long pass to Smith, and the field goal by Cundiff. Both defenses buckle down in the red zone. We've got a field goal on each side. There have been some opportunities out there.
Yeah, there have, yes. Both teams have had them. We've seen open receivers for the Ravens. And, of course, Tom Brady missed a wide open Rob Gronkowski for a touchdown and also through the interception.
Danny Woodhead, Matthew Slater are back to receive the kick from Billy Cundiff. 60% of his kicks this year were touchbacks. This will be returned by Woodhead. And Woodhead scampers out to the 25. Brought down by Emmanuel Cook. Here's some of those opportunities I believe you're talking about.
Well, yeah, you look at it in football games, especially against a good defense, an incomplete pass up the middle, good coverage, wide open. Just rush the throw, and then the seam patterns, an interception by Webb. When you play the Patriots, the one thing that I'd say I'd take away first are the inside throws up the field, those seam patterns, which we just saw two of them.
That's the handoff to Green Ellis, who sprints ahead for 13 yards. Brought down by Ed Reed.
That is so good at the quick snap. And Nate Solder comes around and gets the excellent block on Ray Lewis and lets Ben Jarvis Green Ellis get those yards.
It's another carry, and again, running room is there, and another first down. 11 more. He'll even sprint to the sideline. Green Ellis with 2 big runs.
I've said many times, now the hurry-up offense running back behind Tom Brady. It is a high percentage of run plays in this formation. Of course, that'll slow it down. You kick the football around.
No. Woodhead back, and only a couple yards to be found. Corey Redding hits him first.
Jim, you'd have to say so far, some good plays, good movement by the Patriots, marching the ball a little bit in this game, but the Ravens' game plan, well thought out and well executed so far.
2nd and 8, play action fake, Brady down the field, and almost caught. Hernandez.
Hernandez, they had the receiver open the middle, but they pre-planned this. Usually you see the tight end or the receiver going to the outside. That time, excellent job by Hernandez reading Pollard. Comes inside, he's open. Tom Brady just missed the throw.
A 3rd and 8. Hernandez in the backfield now.
That's definitely a blitz look. And when you show your hand too early, Tom Brady's going to check out and change the play.
Finds Welker, who is hanging out right at the first down marker.
Well, everybody's moving around on the defense, but it's an excellent job knowing if there's going to be trouble, it's coming from this side. But the other thing to watch when Tom Brady throws this to Wes Welker, there are 2 defenders trying to hit him as he's catching that ball. Not trying, they do hit him.
Brady threw it right in there. Needed 8, got 8.
That was Paul Kruger, defensive end, back there in coverage.
So a first down at the Ravens 41. Up and over the top, and Walker wants a flag, but does not get the flag he wanted.
Well, listen, we've already seen that today, that they're going to let them be aggressive and play. It's a little pick play to the outside, and I'll tell you why it's not a flag. Couldn't tell by the players, but a good job by Webb looking back for the throw. That's why there's no flag throw.
A second down and 10. There's the hookup with Gronkowski. Pollard rides him down, but another big play for New England. This one good for 20.
Underneath coverage. There goes Welker first. He's covered, and it is a pinpoint throw by Tom Brady to Gronkowski. Gronkowski big. Even if you cover him, he's so big, you're not going to be able to go around him and knock the pass down.
That's the 10th first down of the game for New England.
52, over, by 20.
From the Ravens 20. Green Ellis behind Solder. Hops ahead and is flattened by Lewis after a gain of 4.
Well, let's see. You're the running back, Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis. You go down the line, and wow, you get wiped out by Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis has some pretty good bodyguards in front of him. Alodi Nata, Corey Redding.
Hold of him again, Green Ellis. And a flag's down. It's going to be a face mask, I believe. Ellerby was in there quickly, may have reached in. The Ravens team that was not flagged once last week against Houston. First time that's ever happened in Raven history. They've already had one call here that negated an interception by Pollard.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense. The defense player ripped the back of the helmet and pulled it off. Half the distance of the goal, automatic. Also, the whistle was blown once the helmet came off.
Right, once the helmet comes off, the play is dead right there at that point, but it is a personal foul. It was not the back of the helmet. He grabs the face mask and pulls it off, Jim. Boy,
this is dangerous right here. As he ducks the head and is taking right aim at an oncoming Jimmy Smith.
Well, the face mask itself was dangerous the way we saw it, and of course them trying to avoid the hit.
First and goal. Ball just inside the 8. Green Ellis, helmet back on, taken off, and into the end zone for the touchdown.
That's what you do. Down inside, you try to run the ball in against this defense. They are playing pass all the way.
Running behind Logan Mankins.
You said it, number 70 pulling around. He gets Ellerby. Look at the blocks down the field by Nate Solder and Wes Welker. They learned the last time they were down there, we saw Ray Lewis breaking up a pass in the end zone. They said next time down there, we'll run the football.
Gostowski, good on the extra point. The game's first touchdown as Green Ellis ran for 36 yards on that drive. Had his helmet ripped off, and then he rips off the 8-yard run to the end zone. The Patriots run it on the Ravens. Officially 7 yards by Green Ellis. Did most of the heavy lifting on that series. A 10-play drive. Second scoring drive of at least 10 plays in this game. And Gostowski now 3 for 3 on touchbacks. After the score, he taps the patch, the MHK, in honor of the late Myra Kraft. This season for the Patriots dedicated to the loving memory of the late wife of Robert Kraft. There talking to his son, Jonathan, and others up in his box today. Steven Tyler to his right. Drew Bledsoe in there. One of the honorary captains with Brewski and Law and Troy Brown before this game. First and 10. Flacco has the pass play out to the 40 to Lee Evans, who suddenly is emerging here in the playoffs for Baltimore.
Well, he is, Jim, but let's watch the touchdown. Logan Mankins, number 70, comes around, gets the good block, sets it up. Nice job by Ben Jarvis, Green Ellison. You always hear about adjustments in the game. They learned the last time they were down there that they want to play pass defense, we'll run it in there.
That last one good for 20. And Flacco has connected on his last 5 passes. And Ricky Williams has a 5-yard gain on first down. Sunday, January 29th, the NFL's best and brightest, like Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees and Ben Roethlisberger and many more, will fill out Aloha Stadium in Honolulu for the 2012 Pro Bowl. Check your local listings. And Michael Orr is back in the lineup at right tackle for the Ravens. Shaken up on the previous series. A 2nd and 5. Work in the middle and another catch. It's Bolden breaking free. Anquan Bolden has it inside the 20 and down to the 17.
Well, I'd say Joe Flacco's officially in this game now. That was what they call a little skinny post. The coverage was outstanding. To the left, watch the throw by Joe Flacco. In between the corner, Arrington, and the safety. And when you throw it in there that perfectly, and you throw it that hard, and nice protection. How about Michael Orr on that ankle? Still good enough to let Joe Flacco get that time to throw it down the field.
He picks up 37. Flacco's got 3 pass plays of at least 20 yards in this first half. Into the red zone for the 2nd time, and it's Rice securing it and taking Mayo with them, as well as Ihedibo down to the 10, and a gain of 7. This time he ran right behind Michael Orr.
You said it, Michael Orr getting the block. Let's watch Vince Wilfork, number 75. He can't get away from Michael Orr, and that allows Ray Rice to get in there. One of the reasons why he couldn't get away is Big Michael, nothing wrong with his hands. Had a good grab of that jersey.
Second and 3. Rice again. Trying to back his way in for the first. And he may be a few inches shy. Met just short of the first by Spikes and Love.
Well, you know what we're finding out, Jim? The Ravens, they started the game out saying, man, we want to go outside. They're too big in there, and it's hard to push them around. But just if you want to be physical and you want to win a game like this, you say you're going to out-hit them, then you got to do it with your offensive line. This drive, running straight ahead, and it's gone well.
Got a foot to go. And 3rd down on the way.
Well, this is where you call the plays. Cam Cameron, I don't know if you try to catch him by surprise here. I'd say no. You think, hey, if we don't get it, we got 2 downs to get a foot.
Bring in 2 extra tight ends, Pitta and Chris Wilson, number 87. Wilson, who caught his first pass of the whole season last week for a touchdown against the Texans. 3rd and a foot. Again, stacked up, tries to squirt through, may have gotten there with a 2nd effort. Patriots want a different spot. Chung saying it was back here.
Well, that was some job by Ray Rice. You know, the one thing you see when you watch him run, I know he's not tall, but he even gets low for a guy his height. And that's an excellent job. The push by the Patriots defensive line. Boy, look at that. Goes right underneath.
Right underneath Gerard Warren's arm.
How about that?
Got the first. 1st and goal to go.
We talk about, when we laughed with Ray Rice last night, I said, man, it's fun watching you run. Can anybody get lower than you? And I think the answer once again is no.
Ray Rice, it's his birthday today. He's 25.
Feel like he's been in the league about 8 years.
4th year out of Rutgers. Gets the call again. Got 2. Monte Leach has a little disagreement with a couple of Patriots. Oh, you talk about Rice, though, and how enamored he's been talking to Ray Lewis. They have lockers at the Ravens facility right next to one another, and he'll just soak up all the stories about the old Super Bowl team back from the 2001.
Well, that's right. They got an old guy in his team that wants to go back. A couple of them, Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, and a lot of young guys, Joe Flacco, Ray Rice. That opportunity.
2000 Super Bowl, 2001 February down in Tampa. Here we go, 2nd and goal. As Flacco, first option's not there, throws on the run, and he's got his man for the touchdown. It's Dennis Pitta with the catch.
That was the only way Joe Flacco was going to get a touchdown pass. Pitta here. Well, I might have the wrong guy. Let's watch it. As Joe Flacco goes, and everybody's covered, nowhere to throw it. He breaks out of the pocket, which is a good job by him. Pitta sees him and moves with him and comes down the line of scrimmage. That's where he came from and gets the touchdown. Good job of moving with the quarterback, Jim.
For the extra point. And he got a flag down. No, Flacco, he didn't have his first option there for him, Phil.
No, it wasn't. I thought they did a good job. The initial coverage. This Patriots defense in yards, 31st in the league. Scoring, they're 14th. That tells you it's hard to get it in there once you get inside that 20-yard line.
Flacco and Pitta are buddies, and it was on Thanksgiving when they challenged one another to grow these Fu Manchu mustaches.
The defense have 12 players on the field. The 5-yard penalty will be added to the kickoff. The extra point is good. Timeout.
Flacco has hit his last 7 passes for 123 yards, and now a touchdown to tie this game at 10. Boy, after what we call the rough start, things are loosening up for the Ravens.
Well, I think anytime you're a quarterback, Jim, especially a young quarterback like Joe Flacco, early in the game, it's hard to focus and see down the field. And that's why, you know, the term when I say drive starters, give him a play where he doesn't have to think too much, and he can get that completion and get into the rhythm. And I thought the bootleg pass, the throw down the field to Torrey Smith really got him going.
And Cundiff, who led the league a year ago in touchbacks, able to generate one here. By the way, next weekend, the season premiere of the PGA Tour on CBS. Phil Mickelson heads up the field. Defending champion Bubba Watson, Keegan Bradley, Ernie Els, Ricky Fowler, Dustin Johnson will be there for the standout field at Torrey Pines and the Farmers Insurance Open all next weekend here on CBS. So now New England has to start a drive at the 20. And a timeout called by the Ravens. 6:03 to go in the first half. 10-10 at Gillette Stadium. You're watching the NFL on CBS. If you're wondering why the Ravens called timeout, that defense, they had only 10 men on the field.
Yeah, Jimmy Smith, the extra defensive back, was not alert. You know, you just got to take for granted the Patriots are going to come out in an offense that's going to make you bring in an extra defensive back.
Brady checks out of this on first down. Got Welker on the run. And he stumbles out to the 33 and a first. Gain of 13.
That's the one thing about Wes Welker in the slot coming across the field. It's like so many guys are moving on this offense. They're crossing. You get blinded by it sometimes. That's really the first big opening I've seen for a receiver underneath this Baltimore defense today.
There's Green Ellis. Shaking off a hit and falling for about 3.
Logan Mankins came across again and says, I want another shot at Ray Lewis, and took him down one more time.
Two backs who sing the action today, Woodhead and Green Ellis, both came into the league undrafted. Stephen Ridley, their rookie who played so much at the end of the year and fumbled last week, inactive for this one today. 2nd and 7. Hernandez was able to weave his way for that first down. Gains 9.
Well, we talked about it too. They're going to throw short passes. We know it. And you see the Raven defense dropping back, watching and reacting. But a good job by Hernandez, good job by Wes Welker catching and getting some extra yards.
Of course, those decorated tight ends, Gronkowski and Hernandez, the touchdown by the Ravens was by their backup tight end. Here's Gronkowski, who rewrote the record book this year. Just a fabulous season. He's got a first down at the Ravens 42.
Well, they're having a little success running. Look at the linebackers. They come up, look at the opening behind them. Gronkowski. So all you talk about is this pass offense. They run it on you. Now you start coming up there trying to stop it. Gronkowski wide open.
First down. Baltimore side of the field. Back to Welker, who's pushed out of bounds by Pollard. They've got a little disagreement. It was Pollard who Welker was trying to escape back at the end of the 09 season when Pollard was playing for the Texans in a game down in Houston, and Welker ripped up his knee and then missed the playoff game, the wild card game here against Baltimore. He was out for the coin toss and had a serious offseason of rehab to get back to where he was. Second and 2, and Hernandez gets away from Ellerby. And then Kerry Williams and company, Ray Lewis, bring him down, but not until 17 yards for gain.
Well, now we're seeing it. The pace of the game. They've brought the tight end across a few times. They've run it up inside. That time they fake it. You see another underneath receiver. This time Hernandez open. And when you want to play, you drop back and just going to keep reacting to Tom Brady. You've seen it too many times, Jim. You'll get picked apart.
On first down, it's incomplete. Thrown toward Aaron Hernandez. Redding, I believe, had a hand on that.
I think
deflected it.
Wasn't sure him or Arthur Jones jumped up and made Tom Brady change where he was throwing the football. No pressure on the quarterback. Hard to do. The hurry-up offense. He gets rid of it so fast. Where do you get the pass rush?
Second and 10. That time he had pressure. And that was Suggs for the first time in this game, really, Phil, getting in on Brady, incomplete.
Yeah, it was, and he did it against Nate Solder, top of your screen. Watch the move, up the field, nice arm slap, comes underneath. Tom Brady smart, get rid of the football. Boy, nice move by Suggs. He switches from side to side. Against Nate Solder, I think he wants to try to be more powerful on the other side against Matt Light. I think he wants to try to beat him with speed.
Third and 10. Suggs led the conference in sacks this year with 14. Brady lobs it for Gronkowski. Did he get the feet down? No, they say. Incomplete.
It's about 4 times we've seen this type of play. What they're doing, they're taking the receiver in the slot or out of the backfield that time. Ian Badejo, he is in great position. Again, ready for the second move up the field. And definitely out of bounds.
Gostowski comes out for the 35-yard field goal attempt. Again, it was Gostowski who beat him the last time they played in the 2010 season on a 35-yard field goal in overtime. Good from that distance again. Patriots have the lead for the third time. 13-10 with 3 minutes to go, the second quarter. So Tom Brady and the Patriots going up top majority of that drive. 10 plays after running it down the field for a touchdown the previous series. And Gostowski has his second made field goal of the late afternoon. Coming up, the Sprint halftime report. JB, Dan, Chad, and Boomer, and Coach Cower. And their take on the first half. And they'll also have the announcement of the 3 finalists for the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award coming up on the Sprint halftime report. Back here with our executive producers of the NFL on CBS, Sean McManus, Harold Bryant. Our coordinating producer of the NFL on CBS, Lance Barrow. Game directed by Mike Arnold. Been a good one here at Gillette Stadium. We'll see if the Ravens can do anything here before the half. Gostowski not giving Zbikowski a chance to run anything out. Well, here's the first 5 possessions for Baltimore, Phil.
Yeah, it's slow start. We talked about it, Jim, but they have really picked it up the last two. They've got their confidence. And, you know, I kind of said it. It does. It takes a while as a quarterback to settle into games, especially one like this, and where you can see and you see clearly. And once you do that, you become confident. And Joe Flacco has thrown a lot of nice passes here in the second quarter.
This is the fourth time he's played in the regular season or postseason at Gillette. He's put up 21, 33, and 20 points. Goes underneath to Rice, who knows where he has to go to pick up the first down. That's his first catch after making 76 in the regular season, their leading receiver.
They're not open down the field. It's a good job by Joe Flacco that time, finding the underneath receiver. And when you play this Ravens offense, the one thing you got to look for are those short passes to Ray Rice. When in trouble, Joe Flacco gets rid of it. Short to Ray Rice, he does the rest.
First down at the 31. Anderson had pressure on the outside. Open is Smith, trying to run after it. Can't get there. Kyle Love ended up knocking down Flacco.
And what a job by Joe Flacco. Torrey Smith going inside and going all the way up the field. He just threw it as high and as far as he could throw it because he didn't have time to look and see what was going on down there. And knows he's going to get hit. And gave Torrey Smith a chance to run underneath it. Torrey Smith just getting back to the huddle.
That ends Flacco's streak of 8 straight completions. Second and 10. Trying to cross him up, ground, only gains a yard. And it's going to bring this to the 2-minute warning. They'll have a 3rd and 9 coming up out of the break. New England leads at 13-10, and you're watching the NFL on CBS. Again, coming up, the Sprint halftime report. James Brown and the crew will be back in Studio 43 in New York. Their thoughts of the first half and a little setup for the Giants 49ers NFC Championship tilt. Big 3rd down coming up. Remember, the Patriots get the ball to start the second half. They could have the double up here if they make a stop. Could have the ball at the end of the first half and the start of the second. And that's going to be a false start on Orr.
False start, number 74, offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Well, they're going to call it, Jim. He waits too long to react. That's Dane Fletcher. Was he in the neutral zone? I don't think he was even in the neutral zone. So the offensive lineman's so trained to know if they step in the neutral zone, jump. That time, Dane Fletcher did not get offsides.
First offensive penalty by the Ravens in 6 quarters of postseason. Flacco, and this one stopped by the officials. It was a timeout, is what it was by New England.
Prior to the ball being snapped, New England calls a timeout. This is their first. This will be a 30-second timeout.
A 3rd and 14 on the way here, Phil. Will they give the ball back to Brady before the half, or will they extend the drive? Flacco zips it, and the catch is made. It's Pitta, the touchdown maker for the Ravens, with a nice grab for 15.
What a grab. Good movement in the pocket by Joe Flacco. Pitta to the left. Watch the little move. And that's who he wanted to go to, and they wanted to get Dennis Pitta in this game today for that reason, because he has excellent hands.
On first down, a throw to the 50. It's Pitta again, the second-year man out of Brigham Young University.
And what we're seeing, Joe Flacco throwing the football in some little tight windows. In other words, they're not wide open, but he is driving it in there with the power of his arm.
Ravens have 2 timeouts. 2nd and 2, in trouble, now throws it away. In the area of Pitta, over his head, Ninkovich applying the pressure.
Well, pressure again, and what they're doing, this Patriots team, only 3 men rushing, they're just compressing the pocket. Wow, Ninkovich on the outside gets his arms around Flacco. Flacco, though, remember, 6'6". Just enough movement to give him time to throw it away.
3rd and 2 at the 50. Rice sent wide to the left, empty backfield. Flacco throws, and it's incomplete. Ball out. That was Ed Dixon who came in on that play for Pitta, and Dixon's had trouble holding on all year.
Good point. Dropped a big one last week. It was a tight throw, and it was a safe throw and a smart one. Down low. Oh, well, listen, I know the coaches for the Ravens. They're going to say this. You got to catch it. There's no doubt. Should have caught that one. Good job by the Ravens offense, so time took it away from the Patriots offense.
Punted away to the Patriots, who have 2 timeouts. Edelman, who was playing in the secondary in that series, lost the ball out of bounds. Actually, it was Welker back there. Welker unable to field it cleanly. But it doesn't matter. It stays with New England. Flacco got his day really going when he launched this one 42 yards to Torrey Smith. Found Pitta for a touchdown. And here's Brady's day. Intercepted on that occasion by Webb.
Well, the one thing, and I said it, Jim, the Ravens, what they did there, 3rd and long, they got the first down. The Patriots used a timeout, field position, time on the clock, a lot of good things for the Ravens there on that drive.
How about this? With a minute to go and 2 timeouts, New England takes a knee.
I definitely understand this to a degree, but to the Baltimore Ravens, it's not going to, they call timeout 2 of them. I don't know if it's going to help them, Jim. So Bill Belichick says, look, we're on the 10-yard line. Let's wait till the second half. We get the football, we'll start from there, from wherever we get it.
A whole lot of respect for that Baltimore defense.
It's, you know, I'm not shocked by it. This is playing the odds.
Baltimore, you got 2 timeouts. I don't want to call one quickly here and force them to do something on 3rd down. But that'll do it. Or maybe put them in a position where they had to punt it out of the end zone. You
Good
go
point.
Timeout.
Timeout, timeout.
Timeout,
yes.
timeout. But they say that's enough for 1 half, with New England leading at 13-10. We're back with the Sprint halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. And again, you're watching the NFL on CBS. A key play of that first half. What do you think, Phil?
Well, a lot of them, but the one 3rd and 14, Joe Flacco hitting Dennis Pitta, it stopped the Patriots from getting one last drive. But the other real quick thing, the Patriots did run 39 plays in the first half. We'll see if conditioning is a problem for this Ravens defense.
So the Patriots have back deep Woodhead and Slater. Patriots without Chad Ochocinco, inactive today. His father passed away at the end of the week and attended funeral services yesterday in Florida. And we expect that's why he's inactive here today, as Woodhead will be content with the touchback. Let's go to Steve Tasker.
Well, guys, I spoke to both coaches at halftime. John Harbaugh said they still got a lot of confidence in their ability to throw the football against the Patriots. And over on the other side, Bill Belichick told me they got him a couple of times. That is, the Ravens got the Patriots a couple of times with their play-action pass, but it's still more about what the Patriots are doing than it is the Baltimore Ravens against the Patriots. So Bill Belichick and his crew still very confident, as are the Baltimore Ravens on the other side.
They run up with Green Ellis, thank you, Steve, on first down. And he fights for 4. You just mentioned they ran 39 plays in the first half. Give people a little perspective as you look at the first half numbers, how extreme that might be.
Well, it's not that it's that extreme as you look at the first half numbers there. Total yards, 175 to 193. But Jim, you'd like to say a normal game, 65 plays for your offense. Patriots on pace for 78.
Second down throw, incomplete. Throwing into the secondary in the area of Aaron Hernandez.
We talked about it in the first half. That's what you really have to guard against, not the long passes outside down the sideline. It's the long passes down the edge or the edges of the formation, the seam patterns. And so far, the Ravens have been all over them except the one where they blew the coverage against Gronkowski.
2nd and 6.
Bear.
A 3rd and 6. Brady in the pocket, steps up, and there he goes, firing it in there, and Gronkowski even takes the big lick and holds on. Nakamura knocked him to the ground, but it picks up 21, Phil.
Well, you can see the coverage inside. Tom Brady, because of the protection, he's able to step up. Look, he's going to throw it, says no, he's not open. He has a chance to reload, finds a wide open receiver.
And that's the longest play of the day for the Patriots. They toss it to Hernandez. And the tight end heights out there for about 9.5. Something we saw last week. Hernandez running it out of the backfield 5 times.
Little bit different this time coming out of the backfield. The quick snap, and this way he doesn't have to go in there, Jim, where all the big guys are, and he can protect himself better on those toss sweep plays.
Now sent to slot to the left. 2nd and 1. Brady still has it and slides off left tackle. Exchanges words with Ray Lewis.
Well, the crowd loves it. But if I was going to get in a verbal battle, I think he'd be the last guy picked.
Yeah.
One, because he's physically an imposing player, but 2, he can talk too.
Yeah, Ray telling us last night, we played them enough. We know each other. We know each other pretty well. No secrets coming in here. Green Ellis. And that's another rush for 7 yards brought down by Ellerby. They don't have Nata on the field right now.
Yeah, you think that the Patriots don't know that. The backup defenders for this Ravens defensive line, there is a big difference.
2nd and 3, Green Ellis. And another first down.
Corey Redding inside, Terrence Cody, Haloti Ngata. Here comes Ngata back on. The other drive, Jim, when they scored, the first couple plays, when they had those long runs, Ngata was not in there. And those, they brought him in quickly, though.
Fernandez with another carry. This time, just back to the line of scrimmage. Brought down by Suggs.
You talk about trying to slow this fast-paced offense down. And the Ravens get a few substitutions in there. Their plan, as we've talked about a few times, they're not moving around. They're waiting. Just stand there, wait for them to come to you. But when you make the tackle, it's okay if you lay on the offensive player for a few extra seconds.
2nd down and 10. Anything you can do to try to slow down the hurry up.
426. Go 426. 51 to Mike. Alpha, go.
Woodhead stacked up at the 26, picks up 5.
I think Bill Cowher, what he said at halftime was so true. And you can tell this Raven defense, the communication, not making mistakes in alignment so far, but the Patriots showing that patience and sticking with that running game. Now, 3rd down is when you play man coverage, which they've done most of the day. Can you get close enough? Can you pressure Tom Brady to get him off the field?
Need to get to the 20 for a first. Brady to Hernandez. And the run after the catch picks up the first. They could have stopped him short. He broke away from Pollard for 12.
Well, we saw it once again. Saw it a few times in the first half. The throw was way short of the first down. It's a blitz. Ray Lewis not quick enough to get there. But Pollard in the open field, tough to bring down Hernandez.
Now at the 14, Hernandez. Another first down carry. And he's brought down by Jarrett Johnson. No gain. So he didn't run it at all in the first half. Talking about Aaron Hernandez 3 times on this first drive of the second half.
Well, Jim, you go in at halftime. You see what's going on in the first half. You bring out some new plays that you haven't shown them. And that's what they're doing with Hernandez.
Hernandez's late father, Dennis, was a running back at the University of Connecticut. 2nd and 10, and Brady's got Hernandez for 8 more. Brought down by Lewis.
There's just so much space on the inside of these formations. Watch Hernandez go down, and he does a little shake, breaks it out. Look, there is not a defender anywhere except Ray Lewis to the inside.
3rd down and 2. Green Ellis not going to get to the first down yardage. He's a yard short. And it's a long yard. And they're already calling on Gostowski.
Yeah, there's no doubt this is the play to make here, Jim. Scoring, it's tough. Hard to get points. So when you get this opportunity, especially when it's not a gimme 4th down or just a couple inches, like you said, long yard, you kick the field goal.
Gostowski 2 for 2 today. Still gets it down, and he delivers the goods one more time from 24. 4 red zone trips now for New England. 3 field goals and a touchdown, up by 6. Another long drive by Bill O'Brien, the offensive coordinator. His offense to be the next coach at Penn State. The sad news today, the passing of Joe Paterno. Coach O'Brien heading to State College, and he offered condolences to the Penn State community in a statement issued before the game. Zibikowski. And it's Tracy White who has a hold of him at the 22. And 6 minutes into this second half. They'll finally settle things down, and we'll see Flacco and the Ravens on the field for the first time in the 3rd in a moment. Aerial coverage of the AFC Championship game provided by MetLife. First snap of the second half for the Ravens. A little play action. Rolling out, and it's caught this time by Dixon, who had a big drop before the half. And this one is good for 9 yards.
Yeah, another drive starter, Jim. And we were just talking in commercial. Come out throwing the football. Let Joe Flacco drive it down. Good job faking the run. All you need is a little separation on these short throws.
The Patriots are without Kyle Arrington, questionable to return with an eye injury. Was the co-leader in the league this year with 7 interceptions. Antoine Molden is out there as Rice has the first down. Tiptoes out. He is bumped out by Sterling Moore, and a big block by Vontae Leach.
You said it right, Vontae Leach. Watch 44. Follow him. The football usually comes right behind him. And Ray Rice says when we're in a 2-back, protected football, but we're in a 2-back offense, he knows how to space it with Vontae Leach. In other words, give him time to make his block. Don't get too close so you can make the move and get those yards.
Picks up 12, longest run of the day. There is Antoine Molden, who might be in on a play against Antoine Bolden, not to confuse anyone today. 1st and 10. And Rice, who had only 21 yards in that first half, now has 12, backed up by 4 more. And again, it was some start back here a couple of years ago. 83 yards on the first play of the game. The longest opening play touchdown in postseason history in the NFL.
Well, you know, Jim, you're right. Ray Rice has had so many big runs in big games. Against Houston's the first time I've seen a big game in a long time where he didn't rip off one for about 40 or 50 yards.
As six times this year, Rice has had rushes over 50 yards. And I tell you, it's starting to get extra intense out there as Spikes is knocked down.
Well, I don't know if he was knocked down. These players, they're getting smart. It's like watching a soccer match. They get touched, they fall down, trying to draw the flag.
False start, number 73, offense. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Marshall Yanda, the Pro Bowler.
That's what happened on the outside. As Brandon Spikes hit Marshall Yanda.
Michael Orr hopping out of that huddle like that ankle's not bothering him as it did in the first half. 2nd and 11. Flacco able to avoid the sack and misfires on the throw to Rice. That was Mark Anderson around the quarterback.
Mark Anderson, number 95, bottom of your screen. Going against Brian McKinney, just the speed, the crowd noise, anticipating the snap, timed it perfectly. Mark Anderson, Brandon Spikes in the middle, and now the other side, Ninkovich. Big change in this defense. When you look at them, the last 7-8 quarters played much better than they did during the season.
3rd and 11. Got the time to throw. And it's caught on the sideline by Lee Evans, who's almost matched his entire season total. That's 3 catches today after 4 in the regular season.
Top of your screen, watch this. Joe Flacco hangs in there, and I'll tell you what, guys. Jim, it's a dart. That's what he does best. Give him more opportunities to get deep, take his time, and set up and drive it down the field. Boomer Esiason, you had to like that one. That's when you have tight windows, you have to really step into it and let it go.
From the 47 of the Patriots, it's Rice. Trying to get into a sprint, picks up 4. John Harbaugh's 4th year. The only coach to ever win a playoff game each of his first 4 years. And man, did he come in last night with a declaration to us right away.
Yeah, right to you. Hey, we're going to win this game. You didn't dispute that, that's for sure.
You don't hear that every week.
No, you don't. He said 2 things. We're going to play our game, and we'll see if they're good enough to beat us. So they're very confident, of course, coming in today.
2nd down and 6. Flacco goes underneath and another drop. It's Leach. Of course, what a day for the Harbaugh family with his younger brother, Jim. 15 months younger. Getting set for the NFC Championship matchup against the Giants later today.
What a day. Jack Harbaugh and his wife, they'll be home drinking Pepto-Bismol all day.
Yeah, right. They're home in the Milwaukee area.
Yeah, you got to be nervous about what's going on.
Well, they just converted a while ago, a moment ago, 3rd and 11. This is 3rd and 6.
Double.
Getting away from the heat, throws, and he's got another conversion. And a big wallop, but hit a hose on. It was Molden who knocked them back after an 8-yard gain and a first.
Yelling on the sideline, they want a personal foul because they're saying he couldn't protect himself. But yes, he caught the football, held it for quite a while, couple more steps, so there can be no illegal hits after this. But a good job, Joe Flacco. The pocket collapsed a little bit. His movement, once again, prolongs his drive.
Ricky Williams comes in. Fake to him. Flacco running away from Kyle Love. And Ninkovich has the angle on him, and the quarterback's out after a 4-yard run. Some serious hitting out here between these two. Just listen to this last one.
Yeah, John Harbaugh won the foul. We talked about it. Clean hit.
Double.
2nd and 6. Ricky Williams moves it inside the 30, gain of 3, 3rd and short on the way. Here's Ricky Williams, who just recently went over 10,000 career yards, trying to get to a Super Bowl.
Well, he's been a good addition to the football team, Jim. A different style runner from Ray Rice. So when he goes in there, when you're the backup running back, man, it's like get your chance and run and try to get that extra yard by delivering the punishment.
3rd down and 3. They've hit 5 of their last 7 3rd down occasions. Here's the blitz. Pass caught by Smith. Great job spinning away inside the 20. Smith to the 10 and tries to reach for the pylon. No signal yet. Touchdown. Broke away from Sterling Moore and takes it to 29 yards for the touchdown, and the Ravens are an extra point away from the lead.
Patriots this time tired of seeing Joe Flacco throw the football on 3rd down. They blitz. They have the perfect play on. The quick screen outside, put the pressure on the defense to make the tackle one-on-one in the open field, and Sterling Moore not able to do it.
He might have stepped out at about the 3.
Well, if he doesn't step out, football definitely crosses inside for the touchdown.
Every touchdown has to be verified, and this one will get the close-up examination. It really is fractions here. It's so close. The heel just inside the 4.
Can't tell if it's down. You think, okay, that might be, but it's so close. Now look at this shot of it. Look at the bottom of the screen. Can you see a little green turf from his heel to the white? Jim, my answer is it's so close. How could you change the call on the field?
Look at the effort by Torrey Smith to reach across.
So many good things on that play.
The ruling on the field stands. It is a touchdown is called.
So the effort by the rookie out of Maryland. What a drive by the Ravens. After a 5-minute and 54-second New England drive, they answer back with a touchdown drive of almost 5.5 minutes. That's Torrey Smith, who is the number 3 rookie receiver by yardage behind A.J. Green and Julio Jones. And the Ravens have their first lead of the game. 17-16 Baltimore. 3:38 to go in the 3rd. 16. Baltimore Ravens with the lead for the first time.
Well, they got what they wanted. Here we are, 3 minutes and change to go in the 3rd quarter. You got a lead. Your offense is playing pretty solid football. I think that's safe to say. Gave the defense a rest too, Jim, on that last drive.
Flacco now has thrown 2 touchdowns. No interceptions. Woodhead comes out from 4 yards deep. Finds a little crease, ball's out. Ball still out, and it's recovered by the Ravens. It looks like Emmanuel Cook's on the bottom of that pile. It's going back to Baltimore. Woodhead coughs it up.
You're looking at it saying, hey, they're going to get good field position here. Good return by Danny Woodhead. And look at the football, Jim, as it bounced around. Patriots had 2 or 3 chances, it looked like, watching it live, to get the recovery.
That's Laquan Williams who stripped it.
Yeah, the wide receiver. Coming from behind, across the field, the speed and the force. Look, he's holding the football perfectly, but the force and the speed is so much. No choice but the fumble.
It was Emmanuel Cook on the recovery at the 28. And Rice meets Mayo after a gain of 3.
Jim, look at Laquan Williams, kept hustling, came from way outside, cut behind to chase. When you're a wide receiver running that fast, you could cause a fumble.
Another rookie out of Maryland. He was a Terrapin teammate with Torrey Smith. And those 2 Terps make back-to-back huge plays. 2nd down and 7. Flacco thought about going to the end zone, now takes off with it. He'll have the first down and a whole lot more at the 10.
Jim, let's look at what happened that time. They're trying to go down the field. Here's the route. Watch the double coverage on the outside. So there's nowhere for Joe Flacco to throw the football. The defense has everybody covered. But once again, his movement today has been I think it's been a big part of the game. And the fact that the Ravens have a 17-16 lead. His movement for the touchdown, his movement to keep the last drive going, and this one too.
Flacco's longest ever postseason run. Went for 15. First and goal. He fakes. He looks to the end zone and throws, and it's incomplete. And how about that? It goes back to Chris Wilson, who did not have a catch all regular season, then had the opening touchdown of the game last week against Houston.
Well, he's not going to like what he sees when the coaches tell him he rolled out to the left that time. The fullback, Vontae Leach, uncovered by the defense. He would have walked into the end zone for the touchdown. Watch the fullback. He goes across. What a move. Nobody there to get him. But Joe Flacco did the right thing, I guess, looking down the field for his first read.
McCourty on the coverage. They can pick up the first inside the 1. Second and 10, and Rice. And that play stopped after 3. Gerard Warren on the bottom of the pile. This is the 35th consecutive drive by the Ravens without a giveaway.
You know, it's big stuff. You know, it really is, Jim. Being very careful with the football. They were early, stymied their offense, but let's think about it now. You know, Joe Flacco, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions in the playoffs. They haven't fumbled. And you got a good defense, that gives you a good chance to win games.
Big third down play here, 3rd and 8. Flacco under heavy pressure and throws it away. Ihedibo and Ninkovich were in on him.
Well, if you want to win a game.
And they spot the football back at the 21.
Because, Jim, I think he's down. And if he's not, they're going to throw a flag anyway. Here comes Ihedibo, time to blitz perfectly.
The knee with right knee.
Phil was down.
So it'll make it a longer field goal try. A loss of 12. It'll make it 39 yards for Cundiff. So Ihedibo and Ninkovich split the sack. Good job by Cook getting it down, and the kick hooks through. So off of the Woodhead fumble. The Ravens have now put up 10 points in the last 2 minutes and 48 seconds. Good job by Cook getting it down. And the Ravens increase the lead to 20-16. And the Ravens today with 2 takeaways, both leading to Billy Cundiff field goals. And again, they haven't turned it over.
Well, he missed a great opportunity, no doubt. We showed it. Vontae Leach. It's always easy after the fact, but got to take advantage of every opportunity in a championship game.
Undaunted by the fumble on the previous return, comes out again. Making up for it here a bit to the 37th. The Ravens 31st in the league in covering kick. Zibikowski ends it after a 41-yard return. And again, the NFL's best and brightest will be at Aloha Stadium in Honolulu for the 2012 Pro Bowl. Check your local listings. What will give? Will it be the Patriots 5 on offense? 5 starters on the AFC side. They're going against 4 Raven defenders who will be AFC starters, but of course, go to the Super Bowl. You're heading to Indianapolis.
Well, good disguise by the defense. Last second, come with the blitz.
And he throws it. He's got Gronkowski. Pollard holding on to him at the 40. Went right over the outstretched arms of Donnell Ellerbe. And Gronkowski is limping.
It's a check by Tom Brady when they see it's going to be single coverage, safety in the middle. That time it's Pollard. They love to throw the seams. That's what he checked to. Oh, man, and you can see Rob Gronkowski, that left ankle.
It's just been really indestructible this season, Gronkowski.
That was a good throw. That's what in the first half, Boomer Esiason said, Tom Brady drive the football. That time he did. Gronkowski made the adjustment to catch it.
My gosh, it's Pollard again as Gronkowski goes to the sidelines. I say Pollard again because when Pollard was a member of the Kansas City Chiefs in 08, he was the one who hit Brady. Brady ripped up a knee, was gone after just one quarter in game one of that NFL season, and it was Pollard again who Welker was trying to escape. Now Pollard was a member of the Texans, and Welker blew out a knee, and now here he is facing him as a member of the Ravens. And in on that tackle with Gronkowski.
Yeah, and saying all that too, Jim, we're not insinuating by no means.
No.
Clean plays.
First down. Looks like the Ravens jumped. Pass down the field, picked off by Kerry Williams. We'll check the flag as he falls down at the 14.
Offside, defensive end, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Gronkowski is going in.
Well, one good sign, he's walking pretty fast too.
Last week at the end of the game, Ed Reed injured an ankle and he walked it off. It looked like for a moment there, no way he'd be playing in this game. But he told us last night he was close to 100%. 10 seconds to go in the third quarter. 1st and 5. And Welker gives the Patriots a first down to end the quarter. Gain of 9. Ravens lead at 20-16 going to the 4th. We're back after this message and a word from your local station. "15 minutes to Indianapolis." Unless, of course, we have a little overtime here, as we did the last time they played here in October of 2010. Jim Nantz, Phil Simms, along with Steve Tasker, as Ellerbe was hurt on the same play that took Gronkowski to the locker room. Ellerbe headed in as well. First down, New England. Draw, Green Ellis. Dives ahead for 3.
Jimmy, look at this right now. You got the New England offense against the strength of this Ravens, the defense. The Ravens, it's gone exactly how they hoped. They have held this offense to 3 field goals once they get down inside.
And Brady steps aside to buy some time and falls down on the hit and the incompletion. It was Suggs and Johnson.
Even though Tom Brady could be in the pocket, but once you move outside the pocket, it is broken. So this move here, now as long as he throws the football, gets it past the line of scrimmage, or near a receiver, it's okay. Good coverage down the field. Ravens all over what Tom Brady was trying to throw to.
Of course, this is the end of the field. This is where Gronkowski has always been such a threat. 3rd and 7. First down at the 15. The grab by Welker.
Well, they've done this so many times. When you're a passing offense, this stuff is routine. And it's a good throw by Tom Brady, being careful, throws it low. And Wes Welker slides and it makes it look easy because he's done it about 1,000 times over the last 4 or 5 years.
A gain of 8 down to the 15. Hernandez twists and turns to the 10. This is where the Ravens have been so tough. Number 1 in the league red zone defense, giving up touchdowns only 38% of the time. Allowed 1 today in 4 trips so far. This is the 5th. By that New England offense. Woodhead has a first down at the 4.
Just getting ready to say, Jim, well, the one time they scored, remember, it was a run. The Ravens good at stopping passes down here because most of the time they're in a zone, so everybody's looking back at the quarterback. They can do that because they have very good run players on the defensive side.
First and goal to go.
What?
Woodhead again. Woodhead. Not across. About a yard out.
Well, showing the patience. They're doing it inside. Nate Solder gets a good block on Terrell Suggs. Conley, the center, actually gets Haloti Ngatai out, and just short of the touchdown.
Ion Badejo and Pollard were the two who pushed him back. And it's a second and goal, a yard away from regaining the lead.
Now be alert for the quarterback sneak.
Brady keeps it. Brady is in for the touchdown.
Like clockwork. Quarterback sneak, quick snap, and Tom Brady reads the defensive front. So he sees, here's the gap, and watch, he goes outside, and just enough to get it into the end zone. This will have to be confirmed, Jim. Was his knee down before he got into the end zone?
Matt Light sealed that side right away. And then it was Webb and Lewis over there. Watch the knee. Here's the knee down. Right now.
It looks like in a quick look, sometimes I guess too quick, looks like he's a few inches short though when that knee hits. A lot of bodies in the way.
Boy, that is close.
Come on, Eagle Eye. Yeah, that's a good shot.
There you go.
Knees
the
down,
knee,
that's it.
You can see the knee down. And looks like a couple of inches shy. It's Lewis who came in and twisted the helmet. The knee is down.
Yeah, it's a good shot. Well, that's a long way to go on the quarterback sneak, though, Jim. And, you know, you and I, we beat it to death talking about him. But when he goes down, here's the knee. Can you see it underneath? That's a really clear shot that he's absolutely short.
And if it's overturned, if the touchdown, I should say, is overturned, it would be a third and goal.
So, you know, it's one of the reasons why they run so many quarterback sneak, the Patriots, because we talk about it all the time. In the league now, when it's 1 yard, a half a yard, or a foot or whatever, when you're near the goal line, it can be tough. It can be dangerous what you do. You hand it off, get hit in the backfield.
Alberto Reveron.
Ruling on the field will be reversed. The runner's knee was down prior to the ball crossing the goal line. The ball won't be spotted on the half-yard line. It will be third down.
Reveron makes the right call. It'll be third and inches. Third and goal, just inches away. They may run that sneak again.
Well, of course, if Tom Brady gets under the center, which he probably will no matter what they do, you always have to be alert for him. Make the Patriots, the defense, put all your big guys over the center in the guards and make them go off tackle to score.
Baltimore goes heavy on that defensive front with Arthur Jones and Corey Redding coming in. Lusaka Polite into the backfield for New England, a fullback. Look at Gronkowski's back out. Third and goal. Green Ellis met. They say short. Ray Lewis and others in on the stop.
They went off tackle, Jim. They got everybody bunched inside. The penetration. Look at the linebackers. They're all free to come up and make the hit. And that is absolutely short. I do like the call. I would go for it here on fourth down, of course.
They are. McClain and Lewis made that play.
Be alert for the quick snap.
4th and goal. Brady up and over and touchdown, New England.
When you're this close to the goal line, when you run the sneak, you can do the reach out with the football. And what a job by Tom Brady. And it gets turned over. Stick the football out, then try to protect yourself. Now this is out in the open field, you wouldn't want to try this. But since the play is over, once he gets the tip of that football on the goal line, it's worth the risk.
Big time spike on the back end of it by Brady, who broke the plane. Hasn't thrown a touchdown, but now he's run for one, his first postseason rush touchdown since '04, and New England is back in front in the 4th. Tom Brady has just put New England back in front, and get NFL Game Rewind and relive every game of the regular season and playoffs online and in HD. Sign up today. Special postseason offers at NFL.com/Game Rewind/CBS. Another 11-play drive.
I'll say this, Tom Brady's probably the best quarterback sneaker in the NFL.
Now, you've said that before.
Yeah, just so many options.
And Gostowski with the big leg, again forcing another touchback.
Watch Ray Lewis hit Tom Brady on this sneak. Bam. Oh, bends his legs back over. Ray Lewis is about 4 or 5 yards deep. He was thinking maybe if they run off tackle, I can run in there and make the play. Pretty good spike for the football, too.
It was serious. It's almost Gronkowski-like. 11:29 left in this one.
Got to stay aggressive if the Baltimore Ravens.
Rolling out, looking, no one open, and Flacco will take the 5 yards. We have the exact same score as the final the last time they met, with New England beating them on that occasion, again, 23-20.
I like what they're doing. They're keeping the tight end in. They're trying to go for a big play here. Nobody open down the field. Good job by Flacco running the football.
Kyle Arrington has come back out. He's missed a lot of action today with an eye injury, but he returns. 2nd and 5. And Ricky Williams has the first down carry, picks up 9 out to the 34.
Follow the fullback. He's just not in the backfield every time now. Vontae Leach on the outside. Gets a good lead block. And Michael Orr, a nice block too. Allows Ricky Williams to get inside.
Ricky Williams' first postseason appearance since the 2008 season when he was with the Dolphins and they lost to Harbaugh and Flacco in the wild card game. There's Arrington, who's returned. Wearing a shield now. 1st and 10, Flacco. There's underneath, and Leach. Hit by McCourty after a play for 6.
Now these short passes, they're open for a reason. Because how many times have we seen Joe Flacco make throws down the field today? So if you're the Patriots defense, you got to be a little nervous. I mean, how many times do we have to see this guy's got a big arm, and if you give him a window, he's going to take advantage of it. So they're double teaming the wide receivers. The inside guys, that time Vontae Leach wide open.
Ricky Williams hit behind the line of scrimmage and powers his way for a first down, it appears.
No small. That's just another big play.
It is. It looked like it could have been a loss.
Yeah, you know, you say, come on, it's not a big play. Yeah, it is. Because here's why. You're in, it's instead of 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 9, now you're in a 3rd and very short. Well, they give him the first down.
Mark Anderson had a shot at him anyway, and then he collides with McCourty and drives on enough for a first.
Ricky Williams, shoot, he knows his role. We talked about it. That's what he does. wants to get a chance at the Super Bowl, that's for sure.
Rice has come in for him. And here's the second leading rusher in the league this year, squirting out to the 50. And Joe Flacco doesn't look too rattled here as we're in some serious pressure time. That was the word that was used this week by his teammate Ed Reed.
And what was Joe Flacco's response? And he goes, you could say whatever you want, but he goes, rattled? What are you, rattled? Like, of course he wasn't rattled. He was under some pressure, getting hit. Guys weren't open sometimes.
So the only time I've been rattled recently was when I was waiting for my bride to walk down the aisle back on June 25th.
That gets a lot of men nervous.
When he married Dana. Second down and 5, and Rice again able to fight off the ankle tackle and pick up 6 for a first down.
I'll tell you what, now you talking about making adjustments, we talk about little things. They have changed this running attack. Again, Vontae Leach up inside. Wow, what a block by Vontae Leach. Hits Brandon Spikes, who is truly about the size of a defensive lineman.
Dixon and Orr were also doing their part. And again, another first down. Now on to the New England side, mid-4th quarter. Throwing on first down and intercepted by Spikes. Brandon Spikes with the interception and the Ravens' first giveaway of the postseason. It's a huge one at 7:22 to go. Spikes, who had a fumble recovery last week, now has the interception and the 20-yard run back. New England takes over at the 50 off the interception by Brandon Spikes.
Yeah, what a play by Brandon Spikes. Just got knocked over. And then what a job turning, finding the football, making the interception.
Brady coming out throwing, wanting to go long, airs it out down the field, and almost intercepted right back. In fact, it was deflected. The Ravens say they haven't. It's Jimmy Smith with the football. Jimmy Smith out to the 35, steps out at the 37. It was Pollard who tipped it, and I don't think it ever hit the ground.
That was some play. They're trying to, of course, go for the touchdown. Slater going down the middle between a double coverage. Oh, and it is intercepted.
It is.
What a play, tipping it.
Pollard tips it over to the rookie Jimmy Smith as Brady was trying to find Matthew Slater. We saw this in practice on Friday. Slater caught one ball all year. It was a deep ball, game 1 against the Dolphins.
Well, he has the speed to get down there. What's really impressive about it, Jim, the Ravens were ready. They were fundamentally sound. They didn't bite up thinking it's a run. So they were back there in position and made the play.
The rookie from Colorado gets the football right back. An exchange of interceptions, and the Ravens have Rice galloping for 7. What a change of events here. Last week, the Jets' LT was making news on the show. This week, the original LT, your old teammate Lawrence Taylor, will be sitting down with you and JB. Chris and Warren in the studio on Inside the NFL Wednesday on Showtime. Second down and 3.
I know it's not easy, but you got to be aggressive as a quarterback, even in a situation like this, after you've thrown the interception.
It's Rice again. He's a yard shy of a first. And it Spikes in on the tackle along with Will Fork. And Rice is hobbling and signaling he needs to come out. Ricky Williams will come in. And he knows how to pick up a tough yard. Rice in pain and acting as though he's concerned it might be something serious. We'll see. 3rd and 1. They're going to throw for it. They have it. First down catch made by Dixon. Dixon, who had been the target on the interception ball, fighting and fighting. And all the way to the 36, a gain of 16.
Well, they've been in a few situations where they've lined up with those tight ends together. So they must have seen, hey, we've run it enough times, let's throw it out. Both tight ends that time. Dennis Pitta uncovered out in the flat. Good call by Cam Cameron. And this is what you do. You tackle, you hold the guy up, then everybody else come in and try to rip it away from the runner. Good job holding on to it.
Yep. Again, Williams, the running back. First down, New England, 37. Ricky. Nice for 7 more. Down to the 30. The biggest single rushing performance in Gillette Stadium history was by Ricky Williams. 185 yards back in 2002. And now Ray Rice is back onto the field.
Ricky Williams, 11 years in the NFL, played a year up in Canada, set out I think a year or two, Jim, but still has the speed and power to be an excellent backup running back. New England, very good success just running right at Baltimore, having success running at this New England defense.
Second down and 3. Rice missed 2 snaps. And the flag. And a false start by the Ravens.
False start, number 84, offense. 5-yard penalty, second down.
You're talking about them running the football 89 yards on the ground in this half. And Dixon flinched. It cost him 5.
Let's watch him, 84. Oh yeah, that's easy to see. You're the quarterback here and the play caller, Cam Cameron. You're on the edge of field goal range. What breeze there is behind the Ravens.
Second and 8. Rice, it's within 3 of the first. Picks up the 5 that was lost on the flag.
Well, when you watch the running backs of the Ravens right now and the blocking by the offensive line, they are making every decision perfectly. Let's watch it. You're running behind. Watch Ray Rice. Say, okay, follow the fullback, makes it, and then he cuts back and allows Ben Grubbs, the left guard, to still get his block. They get that extra 2 yards.
Fail to pick up anything here. It would be about a 48-yarder. Third down and 3.
Back.
They go draw, and they get stuffed. It's Wilfork backing them up to the 34, making this a 50-plus yarder. Anderson in on it also.
The running back is deeper than Joe Flacco. Vince Wilfork. It must have been some miscommunication up front. You know, Jim, I was watching them when they were warming up, and Cundiff, kicking the other way, had trouble making 53-yarders. Didn't make them.
They're bypassing 51, which was a season-long 4th and 6, and they're going for it. What a call. Timeout signal by the Ravens. Looked like a whole lot of discussion there, and they decide they got to talk it over first. 2:53 to play. This before the timeout. Cam Cameron comes in. Harbaugh says, hold on a minute, guys. I'm calling a timeout. And they're still going for it. Going for it on 4th and 6, bypassing the chance to tie it with a 51-yarder. Cundiff 1 of 6 on the year from 50 and beyond.
Well, they're going to blitz him.
What a decision. Will it pay off? Flacco in trouble. Flings it down the field, and it's incomplete. He had Wilfork again all over him. Patriots take over on downs at the 33.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the all-new Volkswagen Passat 2012 Motor Trend Car of the Year. And by Subway. Start the year right with Egg White Morning Melts.
What a game by Vince Wilfork. This Patriots defense maligned all year. Makes the stop, giving the ball back to Brady and company out of the gun. Branch on the ground with the catch at the 40 and a gain of 7. What happened here on 4th and 6?
Well, Jim, Bill Belichick, one thing he's going to do, he's going to double your inside receivers. And you look to the top of your screen in the slot, Dennis Pitta, there's 2 defensive backs on him. The other side, Anquan Bolden. As he goes down the field, he was double covered too. They said if you want to get the first down, you got to throw it to the outside, but the play was called for the 2 inside receivers.
They're going to have to snap it again. Just a second off here before the 2-minute warning. 2nd down and 3.
Wait, 20, wait!
And it's Green Ellis. And he's going to lose a yard. Green Ellis, who has never fumbled in his NFL career. Loses 1. 1:56 to play. Out of the 2-minute warning, and 3rd and 4 here, Phil.
Yeah, this is the game, Jim. Baltimore has to stop. You must play tight man-to-man coverage, and I would blitz too.
Four down. 51.
Brady, knocked down, incomplete. It was Ed Reed. Ed Reed denying Hernandez, and the Ravens will get the football back.
Well, you're right. Ed Reed did a good job, played the situation to the right of to the screen, undercuts Hernandez and knocks the football down. What a play.
Ravens will get it back, and with 2 timeouts. Mesco will take the snap from Danny Aiken. Webb, the returner, catches it on the shoulder and is only able to crawl out to the 21 as Sergio Brown slamming the ground. A 44-yard punt. Coming up, the Subway post-game show, we'll have the presentation of the Lamar Hunt Trophy to the AFC champions, plus JP Dan, Shannon Boomer, and Coach Cowher break down this remarkable game from Gillette Stadium. Coming up on the Subway post-game show.
Well, this is all you could hope for, Jim, in a situation like this. 1:44 and still 2 timeouts. The big thing, no holding calls, and Joe Flacco, no matter what, you cannot get sacked in this situation.
5 down.
Fields the wide snap, throws it down the way, and incomplete. Intended for Bolden. That was Edelman on the coverage.
When you watch, you think, man, a wide receiver on playing defensive back. But when we watch Julian Edelman, he is tough enough, got good hands and the feet where he can get up and play bump and run coverage on these wide receivers in the toughest position on defense, the inside receiver.
It's been a resilient Ravens team all year. This situation reminds you so much of the game, the comeback win at Heinz Field against Pittsburgh this season. Driving down the field and winning it with seconds to go. See what they do here. It's Pitta losing his footing. Did not get out of bounds. He's got a 3rd and 5 on the way. For the first, and he's got it with ease. And again, it was Edelman on the coverage. Bolden with the catch.
It was, but Joe Flacco stepping up in between everything. Watch the pocket. This takes a while. And the big thing about stepping up, he gave himself a window to throw the football to number 81 against Edelman. Anquan Bolden once again to the sideline.
Same kind of play they ran on 1st down. Bolden, who was in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago with Arizona.
Big duel.
Trying to work on a part-time defensive back. 1st down and across the middle and incomplete. Broken up by Mayo. Intended for Rice.
Well, this New England front, they don't care about any run game. They are just attacking the offensive line. Good protection at time. Joe Flacco, when you saw that play, the outside receivers, when they're one-on-one, the corners for the Patriots are playing safe. they're going to let him throw at 8 or 10 yards on the outside.
Need a little more than 25 yards to get into field goal range. With 1:05 remaining. 2nd and 10, and Flacco has Bolden with a diving grab. Where did they spot it? A timeout signal here by the Ravens.
Good timeout.
I'm going to see where they spot that football. Looks like it's going to be a little bit short. It's going to be 3rd and 1.
New England had the perfect defense on, looking for the inside throw.
Coming up again, the Subway post-game show will be presenting the Lamar Hunt Trophy to the AFC champions. And that ceremony will either take place on the field here at Gillette Stadium in front of the home crowd or in the Ravens locker room. JB, Dan Shannon, Boomer, Coach Cowher will have the complete wrap-up from the studio on the Subway post-game show.
You know, for Joe Flacco, though, this New England defense, they're showing you before the snap what they're going to do.
Ravens have 1 timeout left, having just used 1 here, and they need a yard for the first.
Well, Ray Rice is deep.
We're good.
Flacco, open, Bolden takes it to the field goal range. Bolden down the sideline, and Bolden out of bounds near the 20-yard line. Got a block over there by Pitta to help free him for 29.
You said it. I'm watching it, and the pocket's collapsing again. And Joe Flacco went from the right side to the left side to find his outlet. That was one of the big keys for him today. I never even said it. If the first guy is covered, make sure you can find the 3rd and 4th receiver. That time, he did it.
First down with 51 seconds. Bolden fumbles out of bounds. It was Edelman who stripped it.
Inside of 2 minutes, it just goes back to where he fumbled it. Or any time, not just inside of 2 minutes. But what a throw to the sideline once again by Joe Flacco.
A 2nd and 1. That picked up 9.
And now, you know, Jim, you hand it to Ray Rice.
They seem to be picking on Julian Edelman in this situation. 2nd and 1. Flacco to the end zone, and it's knocked out at the last minute. It was Sterling Moore who took it away from Torrey Smith.
Boy, caught a lot of people off guard.
It was Evans this time.
What a throw by Flacco, gets it in there. The defender, Sterling Moore, never able to turn around, and that was an incomplete pass.
Look at this right here. Sterling Moore was on the practice squad this year for the Raiders. Coming on late in the year. 3rd and 1 with 22 seconds. Flacco looking. Throws it and knocked down. Again, it's Moore who makes the play. And with 15 seconds left, 4th down coming up. And they're sending out Cundiff and crew for what will be about a 32-yarder.
You know, Jim, I'm watching it going, boy, I wouldn't even take the chance of making this throw. He'd have to be wide open before I'd let it go.
Here comes Billy Cundiff to tie this game and in all likelihood send it to overtime. The last 2 years, 16 of 16 in the 4th quarter on field goals. 32 yards to tie it. And the kick, look out! Look out! It's no good! It's no good! The hold by Cook, trying to spin it around. Did not quite get the laces all the way, but just a 32-yarder. And Cundiff Pro Bowl kicker a year ago. Wide left from 32.
Well, the Ravens, a couple good plays at the end, Jim. You think they're going to run the draw, get the first down, use their timeout, they go for the quick score, not able to make the catch.
And the Patriots take the knee and will now take the journey to Indianapolis. They're heading to Super Bowl 46. The franchise heading to a 7th Super Bowl. Tom Brady will be starting a Super Bowl game for the 5th time in his remarkable career, which will tie John Elway for the most starts by any quarterback. He has just tied Joe Montana, his boyhood idol, with a 16th playoff win. Did you see anything here with the kick, Phil?
No, Jim, the hold was good enough. It's just the one person that can feel the pressure in football, because it's a spontaneous sport. The place kicker, he has to go out there and think about it.
Utter disbelief.
You know, what a drive, even the chance to win the game by the Ravens. The throw, so close, Sterling Moore knocking it out.
Lee Evans looked like he was going to have the catch. And again, this rookie from SMU, who was just undrafted, was a practice squad player through September with the Raiders, makes a huge save to help strip it. Robert Kraft, a hug with Ted Bruschi, one of his favorite all-time Patriots. He was there for 3 Super Bowl wins. What a game by that man, Wilfork. Well, Phil, 23-20 final, just as it was when they met a year ago here.
Well, it was a tremendous game. Give the Ravens a lot of credit.
23-20, the final coming up next, the Subway post-game show. You've been watching the NFL on CBS.